You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time. So you're gonna see a lot of things you won't understand. This is fallen territory. We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move, fast.
So crisp. You're able to pinpoint headshots with quite good precision, and I felt decent ease of use. Like, I don't know if I was just on point when I was playing, or if the game has a little bit of auto aim. I couldn't tell, but I felt just tearing things up. Early on, it took me a little bit of time to get going, but you'll notice later on in our little series here that I really became a wrecker of these dregs and vandals. The style reminds me of a mixture of Halo and Titanfall. Like, the enemies are very much Halo Alien styled. You can tell that Bungie is in charge of making this game, but the structures and kind of your character reminded me, just the armor and stuff, reminded me more of Titanfall, which I think is an interesting mix, because it's got sci-fi future like aliens, but then also like almost more of a robotic mechanical side to things. What I just pulled up there is basically your mini map. It's your guide to objectives, and kind of like it reminds me so much of Guilty Spark. I think everyone's gonna see that when they pull that little guy up. But wow, this world is really beautiful. I was impressed how nice the game looked. They do all these particle effects almost constantly to really just emphasize how much is going on in the world of Destiny, and you'll get to see some daytime, some nighttime, and I thought it looked pretty consistent all throughout. I'm starting out here with a fully automatic gun as my main, and then a shotgun as my primary. I have like an energy grenade, which is specific to my character class, and then, like I said, a little later on we'll pick up our super ability, which is like the Kamehameha Blast from Goku in Dragon Ball Z. I've also got a double jump here, and I was like, let's test this thing out. Let's go and see what we can do as we climb up some of these hills. The skyboxes, does anybody do skyboxes better than Bungie? I don't know. Right now, our mission is we're trying to get inside of this structure here and see what's going on. We've heard reports that there might be some badness down on planet Earth at Old Russia, which is kind of the area we are. It's the area that's been shown in a lot of the trailers. These enemies have both energy weapons and regular weapons. I had a chance to play with both of them, which is pretty cool. Right now we're using sort of the military grade stuff. These guys, these fallen captains, I think look really cool. Teleporting around. That is basically my melee. So the Vanguard has a force push kind of attack. The Hunter has a knife swipe, and so on and so forth. But this guy has this like force blast, which I thought felt really cool. It was nice to just sort of combo your gun attacks with force push. Leveling up, yes, you'll get to see the level up screen in a little bit here. But you know, a lot of people have been questioning, like, what exactly is this game? Where does it go? How does it all work? And to be honest, I don't have a perfect idea. I have a better knowledge of the structure, but it still was a little bit unclear to me. I'm not exactly certain how the single player is going to work out, but a big part of it is your guardian here, and you can see we have a tree. Now, it looks like these skills kind of level up progressively over time. Like, I wasn't selecting which skill I wanted. They were kind of unlocking as the meters filled up, which I thought was a slightly interesting choice. But you'll see our armor and equipment on the right, and here we're about to pick up our Nova Bomb, which is the super ability that will charge during the course of battle. This thing, I thought it looked kind of dumb in the trailers, but it's a lot of fun to wield, and really does just, you can just work a battlefield with this attack.
This was one of Skywatch's old array stations, a link to the lunar colonies.
A little bit of voice acting there. The game otherwise is pretty quiet. Like, I was so into it, I didn't notice how silent things were, but there's very little dialogue. It's a very atmospheric game, and I think one that's geared towards playing with your friends. So that's going to be the voices you hear
Dead.
more so than the game.
Fallen sealed this gate. I can get it open.
Alright, we'll deploy our Ghost, which is the official name of our Guilty Spark lookalike. And we're busting into some very spooky territory here. Things
The
might...
Fallen really didn't want anybody getting in. Or out.
Yeah, they might get ugly. It might get good. Luckily, I've got my super all charged up. I went into Destiny with a little bit of skepticism. I was worried at how the game would play. I was worried how the game would feel. From a gunplay mechanical standpoint, I can ease your fears. I think this feels great. It's a shooter that I want to play more of. It's a shooter that I love in hand.
Lots of motion ahead. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh god. What is coming up? This music is so intense right here. Like, make it stop! Dead Space, what's going on? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Uh-oh.
It can't be. It's the Hive.
These guys, zombie-like creatures that will come at you at all costs, but they do have some smart people as well. These thralls rush you like they don't even have a mind of their own, but they've got acolytes in the back to pick up the slack with some guns. Alright, I'm saving that super for an instance where it really counts, like right there. Evisceration as we just dematerialize everyone. You'll notice every kill is giving us XP at the right, as well as little cubes, which are our currency that you can use to spend on guns and such.
You see something floating in the air, you have to kill it.
Alright, kill the floaty bits. It's always a good idea. I was so overwhelmed right here. I'm like, these guys are all coming at me all at once, completely. They do a nice job of throwing so much at you that you feel like you can't handle it. And that's something like that the Halo series, I think, does well. Creates battlefields and then just throws a bunch of enemies all over your face and says, deal with it, brother or sister. And Destiny gets that right in a number of instances, especially later on in some of the harder missions. Holy Jesus, it gets intense. I'm out of special ammo here. It seemed like you're picking up ammo almost exclusively from killing guys. So when you defeat them, it's important to really move around the battlefield. And I wonder if they made that decision to keep you mobile, so you couldn't just sit back and you know, keep queuing up attacks. You have to move to pick up ammunition and refill your stuff. Now the AI, I'm playing against early level creatures here. These are level 3 guys, so they are a little bit derpy at times. For the most part, though, they're strafing, they're trying to flank you, they're getting all over, and like I said, there's a whole crowd of them, so you're never really safe to just hide behind cover. Now, this magic man up in the sky looks like something out of Magic the Gathering, actually, as he fires painful energy blasts. You have refilling health, so it's recharging health system. I don't remember any health packs. You might have been able to pick up... Actually, I don't think there are. I think it's all a recharge system. So you'll see your death and demise at the left hand of the meter, and then it goes back to your right. It quickly fills up to 1/3 of it, one of those segments, but then if you stay out of combat for a little bit longer, it will boost you back to 100%. I'm trying to get a clear shot at this guy. He's like really hiding there, picking up my XP, and you can see our level up bar at the bottom. He's got a shield on him, which makes things difficult, because if I don't take him out in one fell swoop, he's going to re-heal, and now I'm back to supercharged level. These guys are getting at me, but I will not back down. Hadouken! Stay out of sight. Alright, let's get back in there. We gotta thin these hordes that we can get a clear shot at him. We can't just, you know, pew him away. We gotta really have a chance to get a full-on attack all at once. So I'm trying to just give me some space so I can get in there and take the battle straight to him. Gatra is quite the sneaky devil. Alright, good deal. Now we are talking. We can get some clear shots, but more of these dudes, acolytes. Okay, come on. I had a chance to play single-player stuff, multiplayer cooperative stuff, and multiplayer competitive stuff, so everything, all kit and caboodle, will be in this little series here for you, including the boss battle. But I don't know if anyone else got to. I didn't see anyone else playing the game around me get to this boss battle, but it was super intense. All right, so we take out the wizard, complete the mission.
I've been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon. I thought we had them contained there. The darkness could be a closer than we think.
All the lighting is so well done. But now we've completed the mission, so it's going to basically withdraw us from the area, because this was a specific mission. We gain our XP. Well, it won't withdraw us from the area, but it will sort of pause the action, and we'll have the opportunity to withdraw. Glimmer is the currency, which reminds me of something straight out of Twilight, but I promise you, it's not that sparkly. So you'll see our upgrade we unlocked, and the progress we're making on our other skills. A little recap: 54 kills, 0 deaths, 18 precise kills, and some gloves as a reward. The loot system seems to factor in moderately heavily. No, I won't say super heavily. I thought it would be more of a deal, but this definitely isn't Borderlands. There isn't that kind of an emphasis on guns and gear. There is an emphasis, but it's just not as high as something like Borderlands. So actually it is going to pull us out, I believe, here. So now we're hovering in our ship here, and then we can set our destination. That this kind of gives you a feel of the foundation level interface for Destiny. So we have our character. I just wanted to kind of check out some of our equipment. We've got 2 guns that we could switch between: auto rifle and a semi-auto. I'm going to stick with the auto. I've got a shotgun. I need to purchase some new stuff to check out. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm not sure if eventually you get choices, or maybe it's based on usage. I wasn't really clear on exactly how the progression for your character was working, but there definitely is differences in the gear. Later on, I get stuff that is like significantly higher defense, significantly different attacks, elemental damage as well. So while I'm beginning a little bit bare bones, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on: bounties, consumables, materials, mission rewards. It's got a tinge of an MMO feel to it. Not a lot. I mean, it's in terms of that you're going on quests in these big environments. I guess that's a little bit like it. But here is again that foundation. So the tower is sort of home base where you can go meet up with people, get new gear. That feels the most MMO-ish of the entire game because it's like a hub. Earth is where I'm at, and eventually we'll unlock new areas. That Devil's Lair is that boss battle I'm telling you about in the middle of your screen right there. Pretty darn sweet. But we're going to jump back down to Earth and see what it has to offer. I was curious about this Brave thing, and it's a way for you to make the mission more difficult for yourself. So it takes, I guess, percentage of power away from your gear, away from your damage, but in return gives you more tougher enemies, more ferocious enemies, and inevitably better XP. So it seems like there's some good ways for you to tweak the encounters to best suit you. So if you are of a super skill level or you're of a not so skilled level, you can make things cater more towards how you want the game to flow.
There are reports that the Fallen back at the Cosmodrome are keeping a pretty tight guard on the old Skywatch. Could be one of their leaders, or it could be something valuable. The speaker's asking Guardians to look into it.
So we fly down. I've heard a couple people complain about the voice acting, and I'm not sure if it's final. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's super engaging either. The guy kind of has a little bit of a generic voice, but this is the only load screen that I experienced, is in between setting your destination and landing back on the planet. Once you're there, it seemed entirely seamless from everything that I played. So we dive back down, and now...
Okay, the Skywatch is just on the other side of the steps. And it's surrounded by Fallen. Well, I'm ready if you are.
We get to check out the daytime old Russia, and I think it almost looks better in the day. This is going to be a game where you're going to want to screenshot some moments, because it just... Those skyboxes, I swear, my eyes, they were just crying with joy, because it looks good. I don't think it's the best looking next gen game, but remember, this is a cross-gen title, so for that, it looks it looks dope. I gotta say, it's a good looking game.
You know, this place must have been amazing before the collapse. Thousands of humans boarding the colony ships, off to build cities beyond. And now the Fallen, just picking its bones.
I'm excited to see what the other planets have to offer, because some jump fails going on here. Because there are Mars environments as well as other planet places that supposedly look drastically different. Now, all of a sudden, we've got an optional event incoming: defend the Warsat.
Up the hill, the building with the radar. That's the Skywatch.
And I'm like, yo, Ghost Man, I cannot go defend the Skywatch. I have to defend the Warsat as I fall into this hole. Whoopsies! planes, trains, automobiles, and gigantic rocket ships in the distance. That's probably the coolest set piece in the whole area, is that big old rocket ship you can see from everywhere. So we've got other players in here, and we are together going to defend this archive type thing against these invisible enemies. My rifle is not so beautiful from long range, so we're going to hop in and see what we can do a little bit closer. Throw in some grenades. Your grenades recharge, so it's not like you have an inventory of grenades. They're on a recharge, which I thought was interesting. It's a pretty cool system, because then you're not just spamming grenades, but relying more on gunplay and smart use. Your melee ability does integrate with grenades, so later on I pick up an ability. Holy crap, oh my dear god. We might get our first death, and there we go, Guardian down. We'll respawn in a couple seconds. Someone could come pick us up, but let me just jump back in and do work. So later on, like, your melee ability will refill your grenade faster. Like, they interface together, kind of, so you can combo them. This Elder Captain, giving me some teleportic troubles.
Keep at it.
Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on. Lots of geometry in the environments to take cover behind and in between. He does not want to be force pushed. I'm like, Luke, I am your father, and he's like, no, son. Get the heck out of here. I don't want anything to deal with you. Alright, come back here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, God. Great, now we've got all sorts of flying robots, giant orbs. At first I was like, is this orb a helpful orb? Is it a bad guy orb? But no, that's definitely a dark orb. He's an evil, nasty circle. Don't you get kind of the Halo vibe from the enemies? Like, that's the biggest influence that I took from Destiny in terms of what they borrowed from Halo. It's like the enemy design reminds me a lot of Covenant. We are healing and saving this thing. We're at about 80%, 78, 79 transmitting data. And this big old... There we go. Sphere no more. We have saved you. Thank you, Saint D1970. And thank you, whatever, this other guy. Where are you? What's his name? Coalesce. The sky. And more orbs and more dudes. They are not going to settle.
A little longer.
Even though we're at 95%, they're like, hey, these dregs. Like, later on, you'll get to see me pick up missions in this world, go on a 3-player strike mission, which is my favorite part of the whole thing. Victory is ours, though. Currently, we transmit the data. We still got to watch out for these hooligans. Get out of my face! He's trying so hard to kill me. And I'm like, no, 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 we got to get out of here. Reload, refill, and count on my friends. Alright. Did we do it? I think we did. Mission accomplished. Beautiful. And I think that's gonna do it for our first look at Destiny. Hey, buddy, thank you for helping, and thank you guys for joining. What do you think? I hope you had fun in this beginning look at Destiny. I've got a lot more footage to share with you. Like I said, there's more single-player stuff. There is some cooperative strike missions with boss battles. There is competitive multiplayer, and it'll form a sweet mini-series before this game releases in just a couple months now. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I was impressed. I like Destiny more than I thought I would. Is it the most revolutionary game of all time? No, it is not. Is it a very fun and well-controlled shooter experience that seems to still have more hidden beneath the surface? Yes, I'm curious to see how the whole game plays out. I'm curious to see how it all takes shape and what exactly the mix between multiplayer and single player is. But the most important thing is that Destiny is fun moment to moment.